Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, what's going on, man? You are live on Outlaw Radio Live. How you doing tonight, Jay Easy?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, man? Enjoy being on here.
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. So I have to ask, what made you decide to get into the music industry?
Um, really, I don't know if I would be able to describe it right, but I really got into the music to really relieve my feelings, man. Just as a kid growing up, I was always told to, hold your feelings in. You're supposed to show them. And I found music, and I found it to be a really good release for me as far as like with my depression, my anxiety, and PTSD and stuff like that. It really does help out a lot, and that's probably the main reason why I got into it.
And music is one of those like substance. You know what I mean? It's a good substance that helps you get through PTSD. Because I know how you feel, man. I have PTSD myself, so that's no joke. So when I do my radio show, that helps me get through it as well, man. So that's what's up, dude. I have to ask,
Yep.
how did the name Jay Easy come to be? How did you get that stage name?
Oh man, and I don't know how much time we actually got, so
Oh man,
I
I
don't want
got
to
a
be talking.
3 hour time slot, man. So fuck, go right ahead. And by the way, it's
Um,
uncensored as well, so you can swear if you like. It doesn't bother me.
oh, fucking great. All right, cool. So, Jay Easy. I know a lot of people. They have their, outs on it. G Easy. I've been called as far as the generic brand of G Easy. I thought that was a good one. But no, Jay Easy came from my first rap name, and it's embarrassing to say, was Skittles. And that was because a lot of people compared me to Eminem at the time, and they said, "Well, you're not the next Eminem, but you can be Skittles." And that didn't stick. And the J comes from Justin, and Easy is I really just do it together as far as I'm gonna make my life easy, Jay Easy, and I'm gonna be easy with everything. I'm not gonna let shit stress me. Anybody bother me. And I mean, that's really where it came from. Not too worried about the name though. I just love to rap, express my feelings, and hope that my music reaches somebody, at least one person.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I would not have guessed your previous name would be Skittles. I have to say, Jay Easy suits you a hell of a lot more.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So, what are your biggest inspirations, man? I gotta ask that.
um, Biggest inspirations. I mean, it comes from a lot, man. It comes from family, not just music, as far as that's concerned. Um, I was in the military, so I prided myself off that a lot, and I try to hold my same standards as far as like my civilian life goes. Inspirations as far as like music goes, man. It's what probably people would expect. Eminem, 50 Cent, J. Cole, Kendrick, Pac's a big one. I know you're big on him too.
Oh hell yeah.
Um, a lot of inspiration. But here lately, I'm not even gonna lie, I've been really tuning in on NF, and he's doing his thing right now. If you haven't heard about him, I would definitely check him out.
I most definitely heard about him. Yeah, he's a very talented individual.
But that's about where most of my inspiration comes from. Really, I hope it don't sound selfish, but my inspiration really comes from myself as far as like what I've overcome in my life, and I really look at myself as an inspiration. Being able to look back and see like, damn, I went through X, Y, and Z. I thought it was going to kill me then, but look where I am now.
You know what? That's a great logic to look at it as well, man. You know what? That's not selfish, man. That's looking at your life. You know what I mean? Looking through the rear view and being like, "Yo, I'm still here." That ain't selfish, man. That's real. That's real talk right there, man. I agree with that 110%. So
Yeah.
speaking of being through from A to Z, I also saw on your Instagram and Facebook that you were in the army. Could you tell us a bit about that and what that experience was like?
um, that experience it was pretty good. And before, music, well, I wouldn't say before music came into the picture. I've been off and on here since I've been 13, and just here in the past maybe 2 years, I really buckled down. But not before music, it was the military. That's what I was going to do for the next 20 years of my life. Did 4 years of ROTC, signed my papers when I turned 18. Joined Fort Benning, and then after I completed basic and AIT, I was an infantryman. After I completed that, I got shipped to Germany, and over in Germany, I was there for about a year and 7-8 months. But over there, I got hurt. There was a training exercise that we were doing, and it was a riot control simulation, practicing with the Slovenian army at the time, just because at the time they're, I don't even know how you would say it. They were basically trained just so, if their civilians, got out of control, they could practice, how they would, deal with a situation like that. So we were playing as civilians. They were dressed in all their gear, the shield, the baton, the helmet, all that. Well, I wasn't the only one that got hurt. There was, God, man, and keep in mind, this is just a training exercise. There was about 4 or 5 other people. I got my L4 fractured and my L5 broke in my lower back, and it severed my sciatic nerve to my left leg. So, I have constant pain in my leg. But, as far as that, it was me. Another dude had an arm broke. The bone was out. Some dude had his nose broken. One dude broke his ankle. And a lot of these were, inflicted on by the Slovenian army. And they finally shut the training exercise down. But, after that, rehabilitation didn't go so swell for me. I couldn't, I guess you would say, hop back on the horse like I, used to do, being able to run, push-ups, sit-ups, all the good Army stuff. Started my paperwork to get out because there was nothing else that could be done for me at the time, and fought for disability when I got out, and basically God has granted me the gift, the luxury, I don't have to work. I'm 100% disabled, so I get a check every month. Me and my family, we can live, and at the same time, I can pursue music full time, and I feel like I'm pretty blessed with that situation. With my military career, man, that was probably one of the shortest but most eventful parts of my life. I can honestly say that.
First off, I want to say, man, I'm deeply sorry, about you getting injured. That Army, man, it's a training exercise. They should have been a little more easier on you, man. Not fucking break people's noses and arms and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous, man. So back on your music stuff. On September 20th, you did your very first live performance with KMT in Jonesboro, Georgia. What was that experience like, and what was the turnout? What was it like being on stage for the first time in front of a crowd?
Oh, man. Yeah, and, it's funny that you asked that, I'll be honest. I didn't think you'd probably ask that, but I appreciate you asking. I don't know, man. It was something, something I wouldn't say that I was scared, because I don't think I had stage fright as far as what people would think. Most of my closest friends, family, and stuff like that, that's what that's what they were trying to get through my head. Don't walk up on stage, don't get scared or whatever. And excuse me. And KMT, he's one of my artists that he's under me. I'm working with him, working on an EP for him, but really wanted, when I found him and we started recording, it was like 2 peas in a pod. Me and him could work, wonders. So I told him, hey man, I would like you to perform with me on my first time. He said, hell yeah, he's up for it. So, so when I get there, you see this big crowd, and I'm not to the severity of, if I walk through some doors. everybody's not going to recognize me. So, I'm able to walk through the crowd, and like walking through this crowd, man, it's crazy because, you got all these people and you're thinking these people are about to listen to what I've written, what I recorded. And it makes me feel, I guess, anxious. Only reason being, man, it's because, the music that I make ain't music that a normal person would, put in their car and they'd just drive down the road and listen to. I put the music out for my feelings and, what I'm feeling at the time. So, forming, the certain songs that I did, it was nerve-wracking because I'm like, man, what if somebody doesn't like it, or all the the worst outcomes you could think of. And my wife, she was telling me, she was like, what if you get booed? Like, what if you get booed off stage? And it ran through my mind, but at the same time, I had to sit back and tell myself, like, yeah, I'm not trash. Like, I'm not the best, like, by any means, but I don't feel as though I'm trash. So I don't think I would get booed. So, the night's going, I'm throwing back shots of Hennessy because I'm just trying to get myself loosened up because I could feel the tension coming. And, they call us up on stage and, man, getting up in front of all them people, and, I could make out some people, the lights, it was really hard. Never knew how hard it is to be up on a stage and try to look out at the crowd and really not be able to see anybody. But I looked out there, and all the people that I saw, people were sitting there. They were waiting, and that made me feel a little bit better. And I kind of, when the music started, man, it was me, Justin, left. My soul left, and it was a whole totally different person on stage. Like I didn't care, who was watching. I was just out there. I was having a great time. The energy that I had. I was jumping around a little bit. Things like that, and I really didn't care what other people thought, because when I was up on that stage, it was more of a, when you have, almost like if you have a drug, you go for the high, and the reason why you keep coming back is because you're trying to get to that first high that you had. Well, the music to me is like that. Like when I recorded my first song, like that excitement was there, and when I performed, it was like that excitement was back. I'm back at that level. And it really inspired me to, write some more music. And it practically inspired the next album that I'm working on. And it's just, it's totally different. That performance, people's feedback, things like that, it really did help. And it did actually open my eyes to a lot of things. And if anybody is listening to this that does know me, I appreciate you guys, like, very much.
So I have to ask, when you said you brought KMT on the stage, that is actually my next question. How did yourself, and KMT meet? What's the story behind that?
It was real crazy, man. I was in my studio. I was working with another artist that is over here for the first time, and he's shooting his shit, he's talking to me, we're recording. And my other friend, this is his friend, KMT, this is my friend's friend. I didn't know him at the time. And he said he was dropping something off, my other friend. He said he's dropping something off. So he comes in, he sees, my setup that I got. And, he straight up asked me, he's like, so you're like a producer? And I'm like, yeah, I rap, I produce, I do most of it. He goes, oh, damn, man. And at this point, this artist, the other artist that I had, that I was working with, his energy was not matching mine, so it was real hard to, work with. I'm not going to say that he was bad or anything. It was, the people that I work with, energy has to match, and that's the only way, to me, I feel like it would work. So he comes in there, he says, yeah, man, I write, everything like that. And I'm thinking, okay, well, you're probably just like, everybody else. You write, you say you rap, but you don't understand really the everything behind it. Because I've met a lot of people that say they rap, but I'm not knocking them either. So please, anybody, don't think that I am. It's just, I don't I just don't want to waste my time because I am trying to, get myself somewhere. But anyways, he showed me some bars. He played a little instrumental. I was like, all right, so you feel comfortable getting up on the mic? He said, hell yeah. And that day, it's only on my sound. No, it's on YouTube too. But the song "Forever Solid," that was the first song that I ever recorded for him, and that song, it blew me away. And KMT is really an artist, and I've told him this multiple times. Like, I've never really worked with an artist that I've recorded, and I genuinely like your music, like your lyrics, your style, your flow, and everything. And right now, he's actually up in Tennessee. He's staying with his sister. He's got a studio up there, and he's been working on a lot of stuff up there. And I can definitely say, like, it's nothing but improvement from him. And I can't. I wish him the best, man. He's doing his thing, and I definitely like it. But yeah, that's how we meet, man.
So I have to ask, you also have your own online merchandise store. How did that come to be? What's the URL? And what kind of merchandise do you offer?
So my merchandise is, I think if you go to jeasyofficial.com, it's all lowercase, no hyphen, no nothing. So jeasyofficial.com. You'll be able to click and go to the merch store. The reason why the merch store came about is because my manager at the time, or still is, he told me that he thinks that we should, obviously do a merch store. And I started thinking about it, and for one, it's another source of income. Two, it's another way to, connect with fans and, really feel like, you're a part of something. And two, I mean, really, I just want to make some kick-ass shirts. I'm actually buying a couple of them because I think they're dope as hell. But I mean, that's really why. I just want some cool-ass shirts, support. Really, my biggest thing is support local artists. I can't count how many artists, especially on Instagram. I'll surprise them. You got their sponsors, they got their Instagram ads, saying, hey, stream this, stream that. Some of them I'll go to iTunes and I'll just buy the single. It's only 99 cents. I buy it and, I send them a picture. Yeah, hey, I screenshotted it. They say that I bought it. And it means a lot. So merch store was really to connect with fans and, have a little bit more closer connection to the people that do listen to my music.
Also, this past June, you released a record called State of Mind. What's the inspiration behind that, and where can we grab ourselves a copy?
State of Mind. That track, it came from, I got a real hard, at that time, it was a real hard patch that I was going through as far as, like, relationship-wise, things like that. And I'm not sure, I can't think about what I said in that song because I think I said it. During 2018, me and my wife, we lost our daughter, and she was a stillborn, and this record was probably one of the biggest inspirations because I know I say it a couple times in the songs. The song "Tell Me If I'm Wrong," the one that you played, the first verse actually talks about that in there. But yeah, the State of Mind and just the whole album in general stemmed from all these major life issues that staggered into my life. And that was really the only way that I could express it correctly. Because I feel like my music is me. So when you listen to my music, that's me. And you listen to it, and you have no choice but to sit, listen, and understand. There ain't no cutting off or anything. And that's where I really put all my heart and soul to, is really music, as far as that track and that whole album in general.
First off, I gotta say, man, my condolences to you and your wife, man. That's a really terrible situation. I'm very sorry to hear about that, man.
That's good. We're pushing through it. It definitely was, something tragic, but like I've told her and to really anybody else, not even just that. Like if you really feel like you're struggling and you feel like there's no end, just know that there comes a point where it does get better, and that's what you got to always sit back and think, and that's what I've done with that whole situation, and really moving forward with the rest of my life is just understanding like if you can't fix it at that point at this time, there should be really no reason to even stress or even lose sleep over it.
So also, your newest record is called Mental War. How did that come to be, and what's the inspiration behind that record as well?
Mental War, that album is stemming from other issues, that I got going on right now. With KMT, when he left to go to, Tennessee, it was really a bummer for me. I know it may sound weird, but, me and him, we formed a close bond, and he's like a brother to me now. And it kind of sucked for him to leave, and then after that, bills, that you got to worry about. And then my engine in my car blew up, so I was carless for a little minute. But I just bought a Jeep yesterday. It's the Grand Cherokee 2006, and it's bomb as hell. I love it. But nah, man, that one, and the reason for the name for it, man, is because with religion, I'm tied between, Satan and God, man. It's big, and I could have an hours long talk with you on this, on how the album even came to sort. But there's times where I feel like as though Satan has me. He's got control of me, and like there's nothing I can do, and that mental war that you got going on in your head, where you're literally battling yourself, and it's the worst feeling in the world. And there's a few songs I know. Two of the songs, I got one of the songs talking to God, and the next song is talking to Lucifer. So I got two where I'm talking to both of them, and really trying to figure out like what's going on. And I really can't wait to release it, and it sucks. I gotta wait so long. But yeah, man, that's where the inspiration came from that album.
So what's next for you, man? Any new projects? Any new tours coming up? Any other new projects you'd like to let our listeners know about?
Really, right now it's my album that's coming out. I think I set it for. I think it's in March 6th. I think the album comes out. I'd have to go back and check, but I do. For you guys, I haven't said this to anybody else. I have another single coming out probably here in the next week or two. This one's going to be really good. Hopefully, it don't turn too many heads. But as far as like touring, I don't think I'm going to be performing right now. I'm more focused on this album and the album, the promotions for it, getting everything ready for it. And it does suck that a lot of this stuff I do by myself, but you got to do what you got to do, and I'm just excited that I got another project coming out, and hopefully it gets the same praise as my other album did.
Alright, so the last question I got for you is, I'm going to be playing this song directly after our interview for our audience, and also for our on-demand audience as well. So on October 18th, which is not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, you dropped a brand new hit single called Hit the Ground Running. Can you tell us what that song is about, so our listeners can grasp more of a concept of that song when they listen to it?
Alright, so Hit the Ground Running, and I really had a fun time recording this song. Hit the Ground Running the song was basically explaining to everybody, like, it doesn't matter, like, in the beginning of the song, I talk about, I didn't grow up in the streets or needed a gun. I needed to step up and show that I was the man. I needed to. It's hard to recite it without the music playing. But anyways, yeah, in the beginning, just saying, I don't care what you say. I'm going to hit the ground. I'm gonna be running. Like I don't. Basically, it's fuck what you say. I'm doing what I want to, and if you have an issue with it, well, here's your address. This is what you're going to address it with, and people can respond to it as such. But mostly, man, it was more of a fun song. Again, it was, releasing my feelings, man. That's what it's all about for me.
Also, this is the time of the interview where I give the artists a chance to come on the show to give shout-outs to whoever they want to give shout-outs to, and also their social media handles. That way people that are listening live or on demand can follow you if they're not already doing that.
All right, well, my name's Jay Easy. You can find me really anywhere. You can go to Google and just type in J-Easy, then that's Easy, S-Y. You can find me on Instagram, J-Easy Official, Facebook, J-Easy Official. Shout out KMT. Got to give you a shout out, man. You make me work hard. My manager, Dre. I appreciate it, Dre, everything that you do. And we'll do, yeah. My wife, even though she knows that I love her to death, she does push me to do a lot of things, and I definitely appreciate that. But other than that, and anybody else listening, make sure you guys keep checking out Outlaw Radio, because this dude's the shit, and he's awesome as fuck.
I appreciate that, man. I do also want to let you know that a lot of our listeners right now are expressing their condolences to you and your wife as well. One of them that really standed out to me was a listener named Ashley. She said she never broke out into tears listening to Outlaw Radio before. My prayers are with you and your man and your family. So I want to let you know our listeners are showing you and your family love, bro.
Definitely appreciate it. I love the love, and Ashley, if you're still listening, if you got any issues going on in your life, I'll be praying for you tonight, and I'll be praying for anybody else.
Hey, man, first off, I want to say, man, thank you so much, J-Easy, for coming up on Outlaw Radio Live, man. It was an absolute honor. If you ever need your music played, or if you want to come back on in the new year to promote your new album, you're always welcome on Outlaw Radio Live, brother.
All right, bro. I appreciate it. You have a good night, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the show.
You as well, man. Thank you very much. Have yourself a wonderful night.
You too.
All right, guys, that was none other than J-Easy. Last but like I said, guys, here it is. His new single that just got released a few weeks ago, Hit the Ground Running, only on Outlaw Radio Live. Let's go!
You know, it's crazy to imagine where I came up from. From the jump, everyone thought I would run. Had a dad that wouldn't know me as a son. Didn't grow up in the streets or needed a gun. Needed to step up and show I was a man. Did what I need to do to get where I am. That's not what everyone says, but I don't give a damn. If you don't understand, I'll draw it out on a diagram. Made it out of high school, what did you end up doing? Talking all that shit, but trust me, you ain't fooling. You ain't take your ass to school, cause you need more schooling. Watch your mouth, cause it's going to get you a bruising. I may not have all the answers, but best believe I'll have a plan first. It doesn't matter what day you come at me, it'll be the worst. All the shit I could put you through, you would think it's a curse. Tearing people up lyrically, they gonna need a nurse. Taking adverse action, need to put this in reverse. If I don't, I'ma blow up and everyone will disperse. I know I'm about to be at my worst, doing my best to put this in a verse. Hit the ground running, now I'm gunning. Better watch out when you hear the sounds coming. Like a freight train coming, hear the loud humming. Yeah. Ground running, hit the ground running. Yeah, now I'm gunning. Better watch out when you hear the sounds coming. Like a freight train coming, hear the loud humming. Hit the ground running, Yeah. My enemies, I prophesize, get them to their knees. Guns bang, shells hang like apostrophes. Everything they do, I see people hate hate on what they never will be. A boy, white boy with a pen and a pad and a painful passion beginning to end. I don't win, I'ma fuck this game up, find my fame. Won't stop until the world knows my name. No love found, none left for me to send. This is the end. Smoking on my weed, blowing my problems in the wind. If you don't like my shit, you can have a seat and spin. I play to win, caution to the wind. Pray for my sins, I'm only getting started. My music isn't for the faint-hearted. No one has the balls to say anything to my face. Keep up with the pace or you'll lose the race. I'll kill you, won't leave a trace. Body traced by chalk, you'll be the talk of the block. My lyrics hit you like sock and boppers, tearing you apart with tech nines and choppers. Doing my best to kill any track in sight. I'm out ready to bite despite the fight. I put up with being white, trying to prove the people wrong I'm right. This music is what helps me see the light when my mind is trapped in the night. Gotta pull myself up, reach new heights. Might write my feelings down to get rid of the parasite, then spit the verse so cold you'll get frostbite. Alright, I'll hit you so hard I'll make you see the twilight. Take your breath away like a low-level flight. Hit the ground running, now I'm gunning. Better watch out when you hear the sounds coming. Like a freight train coming, hear the loud humming. Yeah, hit the ground running, yeah, now I'm gunning.